How is it going, ladies and gents? So, gonna try and make an effort this week to bring us along and show a lot more of the training and some of the other things going on behind the scenes. A couple more, a bit more in depth look as to what a typical training week, eating week, working week, etc. looks like. Because I feel like I don't show enough sometimes. So, bigger effort this week made. Yeah. So currently it is Tuesday. I've just finished the first block of check-ins in the morning, eating second meal of the day because I'm gonna go train after this, and I thought I would show you some of it. So can we get in? So you'll see roughly. Yeah, we have a couple of Weetabix thrown in there, some honey, almond butter, banana and whey. So the milk is almond milk mixed with the whey. So I don't actually drink shake separately. Most of the time it's either whey drip or it's like mixed in with cereals, just a bit easier to get in, and then mix all this together. Weetabix soggy. I like it all mixed through. But yeah, so currently gonna go and hit a push session this morning. We are 2 days after a Hyrox sim. So first solo sim I did 2 days ago, just in the area here. It's actually pretty close to my house. We got 119. Not the kind of time I wanted, but looking back, being realistic, that's a very accurate time for where I am fitness wise. I'm not capable of any better, to be honest. Maybe like 1 minute. Because the woman miscounted on the day and actually made me do 12 lengths of lunges instead of 10. So I ended up doing 120 meters. Really only cost me like 40 seconds, maybe a minute. So, but yeah, she did miscount. But yeah, really, really enjoyed it. We are 6 weeks out from Dublin doubles, and then another 2 weeks after that we have Madrid singles, which will just be a repeat of exactly what I had at that sim, but just under proper competition day. So I figured I'm going to bring you along the next couple of weeks and show you how I'm balancing my training, balancing my weights with my cardio to get fitter, to still be jacked. Because the absolute last thing I ever want to do is to look like a runner or someone who only does cardio, because it's just not a good look, let's be honest. Nobody ever grew up saying I want to look like Mo Farah. So I certainly don't want to look like that, but I do want to move a little bit quicker. I do want to be a little bit faster and be a little bit fitter. So I have a couple of kilos of body fat to lose. Hopefully won't drop any muscle tissue. It's being realistic, I might drop a tiny bit, which I'm okay with. I don't really have any desire to get any bigger, at least not right now, or at least over the next couple of months. Who knows, maybe after I spend the next 3-4 months really getting fit, then maybe I'm like, fuck, I'm too small, it's time to grow. But for now, this season, over the next 2-3 months, the main priority is getting fit while staying jacked, just getting more ripped though, because like I said, I have at least 3 kilos of body fat to come off. And if I take that off without losing any muscle, I'll be pretty satisfying, and that'll be a good body weight to race at. So that's the kind of goal. But yeah, so I thought I'd bring you along. I'll show you how I sort of balance some of the weight sessions, some of the cardio sessions. Most of the time I'm splitting things up. I always, pretty much 7 mornings of the week, I have cardio or else steps first thing. More often than not, it's just light cardio. It's never too intense in the mornings because my sessions I'm not as awake. I feel I always perform better around like afternoons. So typically first thing in the mornings, like this morning, I'll do 30 minutes of bike, nice and easy, just 120 heart rate, just a little bit of movement to get the body awake. And then sometime around 11, 12, 1, depending on what the work day is like, and getting through first block of check-ins, I'll go hit the second session. So today, like I said, is push. And just because the body's fucked up after that sim 2 days ago, I'm not really doing any intense cardio. I'll maybe hit a little bit at the end of this, but I'm still kind of recovering. Yesterday I went for a walk and my heart rate was like 130 plus on a walk, which is like not normal. It's just my body was in shock after that sim because it was pushed both for a long time, but also into like zone 4, zone 5. I think I'd spent something like 19 minutes in zone 5 or something. So very taxing. But I'm going to eat this. I'm going to take you through the session, and I'm probably going to do a little breakdown of the times and stuff of that Hyrox. And yeah, throughout this week, just make more of an effort to bring you guys along, and hopefully you pick up some gems. But yeah, get this meal into me, go hit a session. I'll see you there.
He walks like he owns the script, like the world itself bends to his steps. Not because he was chosen, not because someone handed him the spotlight, but because he decided. That's the main character effect. The belief that life is not something happening to him, but something being written by him. Most people flirt with the idea. They daydream of being the hero, they talk about destiny, they imagine the applause. But when the curtain rises, they stay in the seats, watching others take the stage. The difference is action. The true main character doesn't wait. He doesn't wait for the perfect scene, the perfect timing, the perfect audience. He moves. He builds. He understands that every small choice is a line in the script. Every sacrifice is a plot twist. Every failure is just another scene. But the story still belongs to him. And when the credits roll, he won't wonder what could have been. Because he didn't just play the main character. He lived it.
I'm gonna take everything from you, like you took everything from me.
Sometimes you give your best, and you don't always come out ahead. And sometimes you do everything you can to win, and you lose. I think part of the maturity was you grow older, you realize that when you wake up the next day after a loss, man, it hurts, but the sun comes up.
Good morning, ladies and gents. We're back. It's Wednesday, isn't it Wednesday? Yeah, day after yesterday. Pull about to go down. I just thought I'd show you the pre-workout, current one I use. Sometimes, I don't use pre-workout all the time. Coffees most days. I use caffeine every single day because caffeine's essential. But sometimes before a big workout, or if I'm feeling a little bit less energetic, I get a pre-workout in. So, Train by JP, Prepare Pro, isn't it? Yeah, blue slushy as well. This one's really, really good. Not super strong. MV Pre is the GOAT if you're looking something to blow your socks off and really get you psyched up. But that's not one you can use every day because you just can't get psyched up to 100% every single day. Otherwise, you would just crash. So this Train by JP one is more of like a daily consistent one. And then bigger ones, I'll blast some MV Pre. Also, pre-session and every single morning, first thing, electrolytes. Very, very important. Especially if you sweat a lot like myself. Sweat a lot, especially doing cardio. The weather's a little bit cooler, so not as essential as in the summer months, but still useful. But yeah, and hydration something is so important for pumps. So people don't drink enough water and don't get enough salt. So electrolytes is a good way of making sure that you've got adequate, the adequate electrolytes. You know, your potassium, magnesium, calcium, sodium. So not just only is hydration about water, it's about having the right balance of electrolytes. So sometimes if, for example, if I feel dehydrated and I go smash a liter of water, if I have a certain ratio of electrolytes that's let's say optimal, and I go and smash a liter, 2 liters of water, I've just changed that ratio, diluted it, so now technically I'm more dehydrated. So there's a certain ratio of electrolytes that you want going in as well as your water, especially if you're trying to perform at a high level. Anyway, gonna go train pull, take us for a few of the movements, maybe show you the post-workout if you're lucky, and I'll see you in a bit.
Say you are fat. I was fat. That's why I talk about it. Go ahead and say something, motherfucker. I was fat too. And it was hard as fuck every fucking day to get up. I know what it feels like. When you roll your fat ass out of bed and all you want is some fucking damn cinnamon buns and shit and fucking chocolate milkshake. I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. But I can't want it more than you. There's no dopamine. There's no dopamine in there at 300 pounds. You got nothing. Your hormones are shot. You have to envision something that is more powerful than you. Something has to get you out of bed. And you have to create it. It has to be false. Because you're not it. You're a fat piece of shit. That's the reality. And so many people just want it the easy way. I'm sorry, man. It's not. So what they start to do is they build this narrative.
Yes, ladies and gents, what is the crack? We're back again. I'm staying on top of this, like I said I would. So it's Thursday, isn't it? Today, Thursday, about to go to the gym to hit a run. No weights today. I had pull yesterday, pushed the day before, upper tomorrow, and then legs after. But got a run today. Thresholds at the gym, so tough. Usually I run outside, but it's raining, it's cold, and I'm kind of getting a little bit sick of just running the same routes all the time. It does get a little bit boring. Plus, in terms of like when you start going 10k plus, water and stuff just becomes a bit of an issue, and food as well. Like sometimes in these runs I'm having like a banana halfway through, just some carbs, because I burn through a lot of calories, especially in an hour's cardio. So anyway, going to the gym, 5 by 8 minutes at thresholds. If anyone doesn't know thresholds, like you've got 2 points, your LT1 and your LT2. Your lactate threshold point is basically a pace you can sustain probably for like 40 minutes all out, but it really sucks. Maybe even less. Maybe it's like your half an hour sort of fastest, most intense effort. And for me, it's about 420 per kilometer ish, thereabouts, about 172, 171 BPM. It's just basically a level of effort that you can sustain for about 30-40 minutes. And how you bring that up is you have to spend time in it, and it fucking sucks. It's not quite a sprint. Like sprinting would be VO2 max. So if I wanted to do speed work, like I'd go on a track or go on a treadmill and go above my lactate threshold. If I was doing a slow easy run, it would be below my lactate threshold, because what I'm basically doing is I'm riding that line where my body is producing a similar amount of lactate that it can actually shuttle out and use as fuel and get rid of. So I'm like riding that line. Whereas if I maybe go 410 per K, that's just a little bit too much, and all of a sudden I'm maybe building lactate 5% quicker than what I'm clearing it, and then I won't be able to sustain that pace. I maybe got like 5 minutes in me. So how you improve your lactate threshold is by just spending time in the suck at that threshold. So that's what we've got this morning. To be honest, my calf is still a little bit sore. Still a little bit sore. I say that like I've told you, but I don't think I have. So left calf's a little bit iffy the last week or two. I think it's just the repetitive. I'm doing 30-40k a week, uphills, downhills. I think the downhills are really beating my legs up more than anything. Just where I live, there's quite a lot of hills. So but yeah, so hopefully the calf holds up. That's another reason for the treadmill as well. Treadmill's overall less impact. If I was to go outside, you've got hills to contend with, which would, make the pace a little bit tougher to hold. Obviously going up a hill or downhill, it's going to vary. But not just that, in terms of actual load impact on your joints, there's less balancing whenever you're just running on the roads and coming off footpaths. Your foot, can pronate, supinate. You can off curbs, on curbs, waiting for fucking traffic, cunts crossing roads. So puddles, yes. Run 2 days ago, had to run through a fucking giant puddle, because I've been doing my runs first thing. So the other morning it's dark till like 7, and there was a puddle for maybe 4 meters, 3 meters, and I had no choice but to just run through it and get soaked, and it was like 10 minutes into my run. Anyway, enough waffling. This is gonna suck. This is so hard, but nobody's gonna do it for me. So threshold's done. Absolutely disgusting session, probably the toughest one of the week. Supposed to have 5, I'm gonna hold up 4 fingers, supposed to have 5 by 8 minutes at 4:30. I actually got 4 by 8 minutes at 4:25, so 5 seconds quicker, but 4 implements. And the 5th one I just called it because my left calf / soleus / shin, just in and around that area, was just giving more and more like annoyance as the sets went on. So I just figured, let's call it. There's no point in squeezing in that 5th one. It was amazing because the last time I had done anywhere close to that pace, that's about 8.5 miles an hour. The last time I was doing close to that pace was 8.3 miles an hour about 3 weeks ago, and I was nowhere near it. So fitness is really, really improving, and my heart rate was incredibly low. Felt super good, smashed it, and I actually hit a little sauna after. Little fitness hack too for anyone who's trying to fast track their progress. Sauna post cardio, 3 times per week, 20 minutes for even just 2 to 3 weeks will improve your time to exhaustion by 32% to be exact. There's loads of studies. So cardio post sauna is unbelievable. Sauna's great, but pairing cardio and sauna together, and then plus the ice bath for, sorry, I'm just burping, for my wee gammy shins, because I'm too fat and heavy for my wee weak shins. So cardio plus the sauna plus the cold tub, the synergy of all those, I feel like I'm healing and progressing like the fucking Wolverine. So yeah, I might win the Olympics soon. We'll keep going. Yes, we're back again, staying consistent with the videos like I told you. It's Friday. Excuse the dust on this t-shirt or whatever. I'm about to go train legs soon, so it doesn't really matter. My jumper's a mess. It's going to get covered in sweat. But pre-legs, Friday morning. I thought I would show you the pre-workout meal. Now, brace yourselves, because I know people aren't going to like this. They're going to be like, what the fuck is that? But trust me, watch this. So what I'd show you is, so here we have it. We have chicken, rice, almond butter, honey, banana, and spinach, and a load of salt. Now, just get a look at that. Now, before we make any kind of harsh judgments and say, Rory, what the fuck is that? Right? Number one, chicken, rice, banana. It's a lovely combo with honey. Very, very good. Most people probably wouldn't mind that. Loads of good carbs, especially pre-workout. Now, the almond butter gets people a little bit, they're like, what the fuck is that? But do you like satay sauce? Have you ever had satay sauce in the Chinese? It is just peanut butter sauce. So almond butter is the same as peanut butter. I just don't like peanuts. But that's what this is. You're not allowed to pass judgment until you try it. Trust me. Try it. So chicken, rice, peanut butter if you don't like almond butter or you haven't tried it. Chicken, rice, peanut butter. Throw bananas in there. Definitely put honey, put loads of salt. It's the best, either pre-workout, post-workout, and it tastes so good. I have this on repeat, but that's the secret. But anyway, pre-workout meal gonna go in. And yeah, we're gonna go smash legs. And I will hopefully get a bit recorded and take you through it, but try this out, let me know what you think. And maybe you'll get huge too. Alright guys, how is it going? So I thought I would just do a little bit more of an in-depth rundown of the sim times. For anyone that's interested, I will stick them up here. So time was 1:19 total. Now for anyone that doesn't know, I will put up here what exactly a Hyrox sim contains as well. It is 8, why was I going to do 4 fingers? It's 8 1-kilometer runs, and after each 1 kilometer run, you've got 1 event. So 8 runs followed by 8 single events. First 1,000 ski, then sled push, sled pull, then burpees, the absolute deadliest, then 1,000 meter row, then farmers carry, then 100 meters walking lunges, and then finish on 100 wall balls. So 8 kilometers, 8 events. I did it in 1 hour 19. Really want to get close to 60. So this series is going to be the road to sub 60. To take 20 minutes off that in like 8 weeks for Madrid is outrageous. Probably unrealistic, but I am unrealistic. I am extremely ambitious and probably have too much faith in myself and my own abilities a lot of the time. But you've got to believe in you. Motivational quote of the day. So if you don't, nobody else will. So shooting for as close to 60 minutes as possible. The main weakness for myself is running, being heavier, being closer to 100 kilos. I was 97.4 on the day of the sim. I'm currently up a little bit in those last 2 days, up a kilo, just from sheer body destruction, sore all over, lots of DOMs and swelling. But yeah, so first run. Now, I had intended on doing the runs at roughly about 4:30 pace. Now this is my first sim, so I was kind of going into it a wee bit blind, but I wanted roughly 4:30 pace per K, right? That was roughly what I was shooting for. First run I did at 3 minutes 45, so way too fast. I knew not to go too fast, but I still went too fast because there was 3 people in each heat, so the other 2 guys I was with were naturally quicker runners than me. I'm actually not too bad at running now for my size, but I'm nowhere near like what would be considered a good runner. Just relative to my size, I'm not too bad, but like most runners are 70, 80 kilos, so I'm way off. But yeah, so 2 guys I went out with in the first heat were better runners. They ended up they did like 340s or 330s for the first one, so I ended up trying to stay close, which I just shouldn't have. It cost me because then that shoots your heart rate kind of above your threshold, and I came into the ski absolutely blew the ski apart because me being a bit stronger, a bit more muscular, the ski in the row I really excel at. It, like my ski is miles ahead of all those all the skinnier runners. I like smoked them by like 30 odd seconds, right? But I went into the ski with my heart rate too jacked high from the run, which suffered on the ski, but the ski will notoriously spike your heart rate too. So that fucked me for the second run. Second run then was 424, which is still very good, still close to the 430, but my heart rate was at an unsustainable BPM. So it doesn't matter that even though that pace would have normally been okay, my heart rate was too high and I couldn't cope. And from pretty much then, the second run, I was in the hurt locker the whole time because I went out too hard, and it just meant I had to hold on for dear life. Whereas typically you'll want to like pace an event or run like this with the first 50% of it, you take a little bit easier, a little bit more reserved, and then in the second half you can push harder. But I pushed too hard in the first 5% of it and ended up having to hang on for dear life. But yeah, everything else went decently. The times factor in the rock zone. So anyone who knows Hyrox knows that there is a rock zone. The times on all these events factored in because whenever there was about 180 meters of rock zone at the start and end of each, so whenever I put up the times for the sleds, the burpees, the lunges, the rock zone time is figured into that. So yeah, there actually was rock zone because some sims don't have it. The rock zone is the distance between once you finish a 1 kilometer run and you get to whatever station you're at next. That's called the rock zone, and it is a certain distance, and that time does add up to your total. So yeah, decently happy. Our run average ended up being 4:48 with a couple of ones way below it, a couple of ones way above it. But yeah, really enjoyed it. For anyone who's never attempted a Hyrox, I recommend trying one if you like pain, but it definitely benefits to be a lot more cardiovascularly fit. Being a heavy jacked bodybuilder, it definitely is not suited ideally to you. Yeah, you definitely need to be super fit, but I love a challenge. I like the competitive aspect too. And yeah, I'm looking forward to improving it, and I haven't really lost any strength as of yet. Still pretty happy with my physique. And as I said, in this season, I'm not really concerned with having any more muscle. Like, I don't want to be 110 kilos shredded. I have no desire to be that big and jacked. It just makes life awkward. So pretty satisfied with the amount of tissue I have. I just want to see how fit can I get and agile while still being like pretty big, muscular, jacked, and still looking good. So yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully you've enjoyed that little breakdown, but really enjoying this cardio focused side of training, as well as the weights will always be bread and butter, because like I said, there's no such thing as, well, nobody wants to be skinny, like, do they? No. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go hit this session, and I will catch up with you guys after.